Hello, 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 and welcome again to Pieces Pat Paints. I'm Pat. I'm the one that paints the pieces. You watch me paint the pieces, and that's how this works. So, welcome to the show, and we're getting really close to finishing this current project. We're coming live from my studio. My phone just buzzed itself off the table. This is live. This happens live. It's my favorite part of the show is the randomness of the things that happen around me. Even when it is frustrating, it's still fun. It's still kind of like, oh wow, that was very frustrating to have that happen live in front of everybody that could watch. But I also like that it's real. I like that it's visceral. You are going to see it all. You're going to see it when I screw things up. You're going to see it how I fix those screw ups and all those stuff. This is a professional, ish studio. I'm not as professional as I probably could be, but we do art for people. Matter of fact, this one we're working on right now is for one of our patrons. She's fabulous. She's looking really great. Our base is looking just amazing. The dust running around on it. The dust on her feet. I really am very happy with how we're going. We've got the green lichen color on there, on the rocks. A little bit of some scrub grass trying to grow up in there. And of course the bloody cloak. And this arm, we just attached this yesterday. And that was fun. She has an illness called scarlet rot. She's like the goddess of rot or something like that. Which is strange, but whatever. They probably meant entropy is what they actually meant. But the disease is called scarlet rot. Anyway, we got her sword. It's big and crazy. And we got the cloak done yesterday. Finally finished. Ooh, be careful. I always swing her around with that big old sword. So looking really, really, really spiffy. And I did set, we were talking about, I did put some material in the bottom of these. I filled these holes up pretty tight. They're packed pretty good. And then I put the excess in there just to, give them more weight. And so now it sits pretty good as long as you don't like whack the sword or something. Because, of course, if you smack the sword, it's going to fly. And that's fine. Just expect that. So, anyway, I did put a little bit of brown wash on, our brown wash on her. That's why I was late getting on. I just wanted to have that set while we were setting up while we were working on the hair. I'd like to get this face and everything, the head, helmet, hair, all it done today, and get it mounted so we can get the other things done tomorrow and finish up any last minute bits that we've got to do, any little things we missed, touch up, stuff like that, and that way we will be completely done tomorrow. But we shall see. Things don't always go the way I want them to around here, and that's all part of the show. Let me get some music on for us. Okay, so again, we're just gonna do a little dry brushing here. And this is our Vermillion we're working with now. It's kind of red, but it's also kind of orange. It's reddish orange instead of orangish red. And we may end up putting a little bit of a more orange color on here. It really kind of depends on. Oh, a little too heavy. There we go. Be careful, because you can get too heavy with this, with a dry brush. It can happen. It feels like it won't, but it definitely can. You can kind of see how that's bringing out a little bit more of her hair. Letting those recesses really stay recessed. We're not trying to get quite as in it as we were with the crimson that's the underneath color. And this is similar to what we did with Radagon. He has the same hair. I think they're somehow related. I think this may be like one of his daughters or something like that. Or I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. And for all the Elden Ring fans out there, please don't be angry at me because I don't know all the legend. It does look very interesting, and it's very cool. And I'm glad that there's artists out there making stuff like that. But I have decided that that's definitely not my kind of gameplay. It's at least not anymore. And maybe when I was younger, I would have really liked it. But now it's a little too intense. It's a really tough game. Okay, make sure you're thinking about which direction we gotta go. Oh yeah, look at it coming out. It looks so good. Okay, on we go. And the great thing about doing it this way is we can kind of leave way deep down in there alone. So way down in there, we're gonna leave that alone, and we're gonna let it stay. We're gonna let it stay dark because her head is sitting like this. So the light is gonna hit some of this, but not all of it. You see, and when the stuff that's up on the top, of course, it's gonna get hit, but this is all going to get lit up pretty easily. But down here at the bottom, we'll leave that color so it shows that it's not going to get it's not actually getting light hitting it. Gives it the tone. Anyway. It's just me talking about a little too much. Instead of just doing it. That's okay. Holy moly, we might actually have this whole thing finished today. What are we going to do if this whole thing is done today? I mean, we're going to contact Mr. Gold and we're going to get him his sculpture. That's what we're going to do. But, I mean, for like tomorrow on the show, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Oh, wow, that looks great. Soften that one up just a touch. We're going to leave the underneath as is. little bit more work right here, maybe. Maybe I went just a, I think maybe I went a little bit of this orange. So this is a cadmium orange hue, another Winsor Newton. I think I just want just a little tiny bit of it. Nothing serious. And I'm not even going to clean out my brush here. And I'm going to go right, I'm not even going to use a different spot. I'm going to write the same spot. Because I really kind of need this to kind of mix. Right here up on the most... Okay, set her head so we can look at it right. So yeah, all up here on the very tip tops of all of this. We're just going to give it just a little bit of that orange. Yeah. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Okay. Clean up the brush. I'm really happy with that. I'm very, very happy with that. Now let's see. Okay. Now look nice and clean, nice and dried up here. Gotta choose my weapon. There it is. Alright. Alright, so we want to use that wash as kind of like a shadow. You gotta be very, very, very careful to not lose what we're trying to do there. The easiest way to do this is I'm setting the light at an angle and I'm checking the light, okay? Because when I put her face down, it shows me from the light itself where exactly that shadow from her hat should fall, so I can check it as we're going. It may seem weird to put that brown on there, but people may not know that your skin has a lot of colors in it. And especially if you've been outside for a while. Her skin is like a porcelain, almost. So it can be pretty light if we want it to be. I don't know that I'm going to go too much further past this shade of white, but kind of see now we're coming together on it. Just throw my phone on the floor again. That time it was me, it wasn't the buzzing. It was my own fault. Okay. Be careful when you get a little bit of that, but not all of it. I want a little bit left. There we go. Just kind of do a little bit of highlight on our nose. You can see how our magenta kind of set in there and helped bring our lips out from yesterday. And that little bit of magenta with that brown, with that wash over top of it is just perfect for what we're trying to do. And again, the best way to explain this with faces in particular is almost like a less is more. The more you kind of mess with it, the more you're gonna kind of get a chance of making it look wrong. So a lot of times, if it's starting to look great and you're like, oh, it just needs this one or two more things, you might want to start considering maybe it only needs one of those two. And I'm just going to drop that little bit of a touch-up in, and then once I'm done with these touch-ups, I'm done with her face. Because we've got a pretty good looking one right now. She's looking pretty fantastic. Oh, which means it's back to bronze. Because, you know, my life is bronze. It has been for a while now. Got a lot of bronze on her. So do the last one. I guess that's part and parcel for dealing with gods and goddesses, right? Wonder at, is she blind? Or is her, you know, she just keep her hat real low like a cholo or something? No offense to any of my cholo friends. I do have a few of those. They're not many, but I do have a few of them. I don't typically run in those kind of circles, but, you know, sometimes waters mix. And it's always wonderful to learn about new things. In restaurants, for as long as I have, you get a little bit better introduction to the Spanish culture, or the Hispanic culture, Latino culture, all those adjectives and any of the ones that I missed. And oh, I got a little bronze on her hair. We'll have to fix that. So anyway, you work with the Hispanic a lot, and they're great people. It's a lot of fun. You'll have a lot of fun going to their cookouts and having a couple of cervezas and listening to some music and just enjoying time. They know how to have a good time, that's for sure. I'm a huge fan of multiculturalism. I love learning about different cultures. I think it's kind of what makes us such a great country when we let it, is that we can all kind of enjoy a little bit of everything. Because I'm not Hispanic, but I've got several friends that are. So if I want to go and eat some tamales, I know who to call. Go eat some great tamales, have some good times, sing some songs. Just like if they want to go to, you know, something Scottish, or they want to know about Dungeons and Dragons, or whatever. They can come to me because it's all in my nerdy white man culture. And it's better that way when you can serve it all up to each other. Everybody gets to have a good time, and I don't know. Sound like somebody was honking outside my house. I don't think they were. I think they were honking for somebody else. We're just gonna kind of keep working that bronze up there. I think we're gonna have this whole thing done today. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of shocked. I thought that face was not gonna be easy, and it came together really, really well. It is kind of easier when you don't have to do the eyes. I should have anticipated that. Eyes are a lot of times the death knell of a miniature artist. They'll get to eyes, and it's pretty tough. Pretty tough. It's just hard to line them up to where they're looking in the same direction. And on a 2D painting, it's kind of easier because like you're painting on a flat surface. But when you're painting a sculpture with it, there's some different rules you got to follow. I think we'll probably get there. I feel like the next guy might have eyes, and not just like Superman eyes or superpower eyes where the eyes are all blanked. Just don't get me wrong, that's fun too. I like that. Glowing eyes and stuff like that. These bigger sculptures could definitely, you could do some cool work on some eyes. I think he's got one coming that's another gal. I think she might have eyes, so we have to paint in. I'm surprised there's not like some big monster with a bunch of eyes in this game. That seems like something this game would do. It'd be fun to paint a bunch of eyes. I think he had one that was made that had a bunch of eyes on it, but it was made scratch. It wasn't a print that somebody needed to paint for him. That might be fun doing some scratch build stuff sometime. I haven't done any scratch building in a while. I've almost accumulated enough junk to do some cool terrain builds for our Warhammer stuff. And you'll notice I'm constantly kind of keeping that brush clean. Every now and then, just add a little bit, just clean it out. Get that excess paint off there, especially when you're dealing with metallics. I preach this every time we're doing that, I think, but you never know when or where people are watching, so just keep dropping those little facts. And don't jam your bristles into things. See, now I've got a little paint on the side of the brush, so I'm going to pull that paint off. And I'm going to come back with the tips of my bristles, and move it around. And you see what I mean by not jamming. I'm going in there. I'm kind of just barely getting it in. And moving it around, make sure we're getting all the contact we want. Woo! So close. Take a little break. It's always good to like put your models down every now and again. Move your hands around, flex them about every 30 minutes or so if you can remember to do so. You know, it's just a few minutes, not a big deal. Just take a little time. It'll help you out in the long run. You don't want to get carpal tunnel, things like that, because that sucks. Okay. Come a little closer on this one. I had to have it way high for the other part, but here we can probably just work right here. Be all good. All right. We have pretty good coverage here, so make sure you're getting in there. We are going to put a black our armor wash on here later, but a couple of strange little holes here. Hopefully that paint will fill that in for us. Little tiny holes like that. Sometimes you can just drop the paint in there and it'll fill it up for you. It might have been something with the print. I don't think it was an intentional thing, whatever it was, whether it was something wrong with the print or the STL file was incomplete in that area. What a fly. It's definitely summertime. Pretty shiny. Okay, so we got that, and we got some arrows, and that doesn't belong to us. Alright, arrows are pretty simple. Yeah, that is a raw umber. Just gonna make sure it's all kind of over it. Let it settle for a second. Just rocking and rolling. And then a broken one. So that's fun. Not particularly fun to paint, it is fun to look at. And it's going to look great on the thing. Alright, those guys done. Might have to go back and write finale on this episode. I'm shocked how fast this is going today. Probably because things don't usually work out so well for us when we're getting towards the end. There's a lot of strange hiccups. But this one so far so good, right? Probably shouldn't talk too much about it. I might fight disaster. Fight disaster by using these stupid Citadel paint cards. These things suck. That is my one complaint with Citadel paint pods. Are weird. This is an interesting thing to paint. It's very jiggly. Just a tiny little chains. I'm surprised they got this thing to print without just breaking it into a million pieces. Getting us out of the supports that come along with printing is quite a feat. I'll just set this on the ground so it'll stop wobbling. There we go. Alright. Second verse, same as the first. So much chain. There's a couple little burrs left from its supports in here, but I am not going to worry about trying to remove them. I tried to do that a little bit yesterday. It felt like it was going to break the chains. I decided to leave them. They're on the back. We're not going to see them. It'll be fine. But just so everyone knows that I am aware they're there. I'm just choosing not to do anything about it. Because I feel like it would destroy them. There's even a couple of them in between some of these two that are sitting together. And I'm just gonna leave them on. Alright, alright, that's done. 37 minutes. We're just barely wisping that. It's hard to see it. We're just barely wisping across where we had put that raw umber down. I'm doing a little bit of Naples yellow now. And it's just very gently putting the paint on there, and it's going to give us the effect we want. You can't, my camera unfortunately will not focus in that fine for you, because that is heck of fine. We're going to come back on that and do a white on top of that too. Just so everybody knows. On top of the feathers. So they're not quite done. Interesting, I have 3 arrows, but there's only 2 holes, so I'm not really sure what, which arrows go in which holes. Alright. Teeny tiny little pieces. Alright. Let those dry for a second. It's not quite dry, but it's getting close. Pull down our armor wash. And we're going to wash our helmet. And we can probably put her head on from there. Now again, this is a product, you can buy a very similar product to this. I just make it myself. But it's not something everybody wants to do. So you can make all sorts of different types of armor washes, or you can also buy a plethora of different types of armor washes. I think Tayama makes a good one called Panel Liner. It works great for small holes and cracks on metal. This really does help finish it off. It doesn't take a lot of it to do so. And depending on how dirty you want it to stay, depends on how soon you want to kind of remove any excess. I had a new one out, but maybe I don't, so we're going to get another one. And I'm going to take off some of this excess. But not all of it. Definitely not all of it. And since it's an oil paint, and mineral spirits, you're able to do this a lot pretty easily. Now she looks proper and ready to go on. Okay, how are we doing here? Not quite. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and glue her head on. Dang, head is so wobbly on there, it's hard to tell exactly what they intended. So it doesn't sit quite flush. So you're gonna gotta hold on to it for a while. She looks kind of broke neck right there, but when you see the whole thing, it doesn't look that way. Alright. She looks fantastic. Camera way up high. There we go. All right. Okay. Still not quite there. These guys are ready to go. Not with that brush though. Now, of course, you could just do a wash on these. That would definitely work. But I kind of like the way that this misses in some places when you do it like this. It gives it that, you know, feathers where they're missing a spot or two, or, you know, part of it's a little bit over on the other one. Oh, alright, there it goes. It popped. Bam, look at that. Nice. Hey, thanks, Steve. Appreciate you getting it figured out right there. Pretty awesome, man. Pretty awesome. Just want to fix any of these weird spots. I think that arrow right there is done skadoodles. Okay. I know for a fact there's one back here. Which I guess that one goes in. One right there. And then, like, I don't know where there's a third hole. I've looked for it for like a couple weeks now. So I think we're just gonna have to like glue it to set somewhere. It would be cooler if this one fit in here. Maybe we can get it to do that. There we go. I like that. Okay. Because I think it would look better. we go. So there isn't a hole for that one, but we added it anyway. I think maybe we got one in case one got broken. That sounds like a thing a lot of printers do. Sometimes with those little bits they get busted, so it's nice to send you to it. You know, if you can print off an extra one, send an extra one. We are gonna work. We put it in there like it was part of the deal. Like in the deal. All right. This is it, folks. This chain is the last bit. Final piece. Let that dry for a second. I can't believe it. We're gonna be done. Might have to stretch this. Might have to stretch this one just a little bit longer than we wanted to, but you know, but a little more than normal. There's not really a want in that one. I kind of love doing this, so I'm good with continuing to kind of get it done. But we're gonna go a little over time, I think, because we need to let that dry just a little bit longer. But that is going to be, once we get that piece in, it should be the end. Take this thing back up real high. Maybe too high. There we go. She looks great. And so this chain is going to fit right in the middle. That's going to look awesome. Anyhow, we got to finish getting this part done. Push it over that way. Alright. So, and it just glues in like this. It just pops up in there. I can't believe we're going to have this thing finished. A little bit of glue. Make sure my fingers are clean. And it just fits right in there. And there she is. In all her glory. Wow. I need to let that dry. But that's it right there. Really, 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 really enjoyed doing this one. Oh, I'm gonna miss her. So cool. Such a great model. Awesome. Well, that's it for today. Cowpokes. A lot of fun. Thank you everybody who came by. We had like a whole 7 views today. That's pretty crazy. So anyway, thanks for coming by. For those who came by for even just a little while, I appreciate all that. And for those that watched for a little bit longer, appreciate that. We'll have a shorts video coming in the next couple of days with her, and you know, we'll have some photos to go to the Instagram and the Facebooks and stuff like that. So we've got all that coming. It's been awesome. We'll take one more look. We'll take one more look. She is magnificent. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? It's fantastic. Really, really like that one. Really like that one. Anyway, that's about all I got. And I made it in under time. Look at me go. So that's all I've got for today. We're going to see you guys tomorrow, which we'll need to pick. We'll need to pick another project. Got to find something to do. So yeah, if yeah, maybe I'll find something. I'll find something interesting. There's definitely plenty of interesting stuff out there. So, and I've got lots of interesting things in my proverbial pile of shame. So we're going to talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you all very much for coming, and talk to you later. Bye.